Hello everyone, this is Science Vines and you're watching the audio-visual chapter of Class 11th Biology. This is the third part of Chapter 5 Morphology of Flowering Plants. And we are starting off with the parts of flower. Each flower normally has four floral holes: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx. The calyx is the outermost hole of the flower and the members are called sepals. Generally, sepals are green, leaf-like and protect the flower in the bud stage. The calyx may be gamosepalous or sepals united, or polysepalous, sepals free. Corolla. Corolla is composed of petals. Petals are usually bright colored to attract insects for pollination. Like calyx, corolla may also be gamopetalous, petals united, or polypetalous, petals free. The shape and color of corolla vary greatly in plants. Corolla may be tubular, bell-shaped, funnel-shaped, or wheel-shaped. Aestivation. The mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bud with respect to other members of the same whole is known as aestivation. The main types of the aestivation are valvate, twisted, imbricate and vexillary. Figure 5.15. These are the types of aestivations in corolla. A is valvate, B is a twisted kind, C is imbricate and D is vexillary. When sepals or petals in a whole just touch another at the margin without overlapping, as in Calotropis, it is said to be valvate. If one margin of the appendage overlap that of the next one and so on, as in China rose, ladyfinger and cotton, it is called twisted. If the margins of the sepals or petals overlap one another but not in any particular direction, as in Cassia and Gulmohar, the aestivation is called imbricate. In pea and bean flowers, there are 5 petals. The largest or the standard or overlaps the two lateral petals' wings, which in turn overlap the two smallest anterior petals' keel. This type of aestivation is known as vexillary or papilionaceous. Androecium. Androecium is composed of stamens. Each stamen, which represents the male reproductive organ, consists of a stalk or a filament and an anther. Each anther is usually bilobed and each lobe has two chambers. The pollen sacs. Pollen grains are produced in pollen sacs. A sterile stamen is called staminode. Stamen of flower may be united with other members such as petals or among themselves. When stamens are attached to the petals, they are epipetalous as in brinjal, or epiphyllous when attached to the perianth as in flowers of lily. The stamens in a flower may either remain free, polyandrous, or may be united in varying degrees. The stamens may be united into one bunch or one bundle, monoadelphous as in China rose, or two bundles diadelphous as in pea, or into more than two bundles polyadelphous as in citrus. There may be a variation in the length of filaments within a flower, as in salvia and mustard. Gynoecium. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower and is made up of one or more carpels. A carpel consists of 3 parts, namely stigma, style and ovary. Ovary is the enlarged basal part, on which lies the elongated tube, the style. The style connects the ovary to the stigma. The stigma is usually at the tip of the style and is the receptive surface for pollen grains. Each ovary bears one or more ovules attached to a flattened cushion-like placenta. When more than one carpel is present, they may be free, as in lotus or rose, and are called apocarpous. They are termed syncarpous when carpels are fused, as in mustard and tomato. After fertilization, the ovules develop into seeds and the ovary matures into a fruit. Placentation. Arrangement of ovules within the ovary is known as placentation. The placentation are of different types, namely marginal, axile, parietal, basal, central, and free central. Figure 5.16. A is marginal, B is axile, C is parietal, D is free central, and E is basal. In marginal placentation, the placenta forms a ridge along the ventral structure of the ovary and the ovules are borne on this ridge, forming two rows as in P. When the placenta is axial and the ovules are attached to it in a multilocular ovary, the placentation is said to be axile as in China rose, tomato, and lemon. In parietal placentation, the ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or on peripheral part. Ovary is one-chambered but it becomes two-chambered due to formation of the false septum. Example mustard and argemone. When the ovules are borne on the central axis and the septa are absent, as in dianthus and primrose, the placentation is called free central. In basal placentation, the placenta develops at the base of ovary and a single ovule is attached to it, as in sunflower, marigold. The fruit. The fruit is a characteristic feature of the flowering plants. It is a mature or ripened ovary developed after fertilization. If a fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary, it is called a parthenocarpic fruit. Generally, the fruit consists of a wall or pericarp and seeds. The pericarp may be dry or fleshy. When pericarp is thick and fleshy, it is differentiated into outer epicarp, the middle mesocarp, and the inner endocarp. In mango and coconut, the fruit is known as a drupe. Figure 5.17. Part of a fruit, A is mango, B is coconut. As you can see, the seed is there, and if we talk about the mango, mesocarp is the edible part of the mango. And if we talk about the coconut, it is the only the seed which is edible. The mesocarp is not edible and the endocarp is not as well. Now they develop from monocarpellary superior ovaries and are one-seeded. In mango, the pericarp is well differentiated into an outer thin epicarp, a middle fleshy edible mesocarp, and an inner stony hard endocarp. In coconut, which is also a drupe, the mesocarp is fibrous. The seed. Ovules after fertilization develop into seeds. A seed is made up of a seed coat and an embryo. The embryo is made up of a radicle, an embryonal axis, and one or two cotyledons. One as in wheat and maize, two as in gram and pea. Structure of a dicotyledonous seed. The outermost covering of a seed is the seed coat. The seed coat has two layers, the outer testa and the inner tegmen. The hilum is a scar on the seed coat through which the developing seeds were attached to the fruit. Above the hilum is a small pore called the micropyle. Within the seed coat is the embryo, consisting of an embryonal axis and two cotyledons. The cotyledons are often fleshy and full of reserve food materials. At the two ends of the embryonal axis are present the radicle and the plumule. In some seeds, such as castor, the endosperm formed as a result of double fertilization is a food storing tissue and called endospermic seeds. In plants such as bean, gram, and pea, the endosperm is not present in mature seeds, and such seeds are called non-endospermous. Figure 5.18. Structure of a dicotyledonous seed. If we talk about the covered one, there is a micropyle, hilum, and the seed coat. The uncovered and the open seed have two cotyledons, a plumule, and the radicle. Structure of a monocotyledonous seed. Generally, monocotyledonous seeds are endospermic, but some, as in orchids, are non-endospermic. In the seeds of cereals such as maize, the seed coat is membranous and generally fused with the fruit wall. The endosperm is bulky and stores food. The outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer called aleurone layer. The embryo is small and situated in a groove at one end of the endosperm. It consists of one large and shield-shaped cotyledon known as scutellum, and a short axis with a plumule and a radicle. The plumule and radicle are enclosed in sheaths which are called coleoptile and coleorhiza respectively. Figure 5.19, the structure of a monocotyledonous seed. There is an endosperm and embryo labeled at the lysnaxamide seed, I guess. And the another diagram shows, the cross-sectional diagram shows the endosperm, seed coat and fruit wall, aleurone layer, scutellum, coleoptile, plumule, radicle and coleorhiza. Here we end the third part of chapter 5, morphology of flowering plants. To watch more such videos, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any video. And if you want us to create more such videos on any other book or subject, do mention in the comment section. Please like and share the video to keep us motivated to create such content. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye. Love.